There are a couple of things that were interesting regarding the 60 Minutes interview from Sunday with Leslie Stahl interviewing Witkoff and Kushner.
Yeah.
I want to preface this with, to understand just how psychopathic a liar these two men are, you have to take it from somebody who actually is an American living in Gaza and can attest to this. So Jen, what is this lady's name?
Okay, so this is separate from that part, what you're talking about. I'm not sure why you're connecting it to the Jared Kushner Witkoff thing. So guys, on Instagram, I follow a woman. Her name is Morgan Cooper. She lives in Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. She's married to a Palestinian and she's raising her two children in occupied West Bank. And she runs an organization called Handmade Palestine. Guys, definitely go check that out. That's where I got my keffiyeh. It's where I've bought, they have really good stuff. And it's all by Palestinian artisans. And they even, it's just really cool. Anywho, so we had talked about this last week about the interview where it was Hillary Clinton and Condoleezza Rice. And we addressed this ridiculous comment that Condoleezza Rice made regarding that what Palestinians need to do. Like, honestly, I don't think I've ever seen a Black person white-splain quite at this level. Because that's what the Palestinians need to do is teach their children that Israel is a neighbor and Israel has the right to exist. And it's incumbent on the Palestinian parents to get their children properly taught that Israel is a friend and isn't an oppressive regime, right? And I, of course, knew that was one of the most, again, it's like Black person, but caucasity type of comments that somebody could make. And then Morgan, who I follow, did a response specifically addressing what Condoleezza Rice said. And I just thought she did such a good job. And so I wanted people to hear from a woman who has been living in Palestine. She's an American citizen. This is a U.S. citizen who's been living there for more than 20 years and is married to not just any Palestinian person, but his family are the first Christians. They're first Christians. His family has been on the land that they live on for more than 1,000 years. So anyhow, this was her response to Condoleezza saying Palestinians need to teach their children better.
My name is Morgan Cooper. I'm a U.S. citizen and I live in occupied Palestine. I have been living in occupied Palestine for over 2 decades and I am raising my 2 small children here with my husband, who is a Palestinian first Christian. And all of that is really important because I want to respond to an interview I saw, I believe it was on CBS, of former Secretary of State Condoleezza Rice next to another former Secretary of State and war criminal, Hillary Clinton, in which they say that it is on Palestinians, if they do truly want their own state and sovereignty. I mean, duh, of course, who doesn't, who wants to live under a colonial apartheid military regime, that it is on Palestinians to start teaching their children differently and better. And we should stop teaching our kids that there is no Israel or the future is without Israel or these lessons. What? I'm sorry. What my 9 and 5-year-old understand of the settler colonial apartheid state of Israel and their brutal military occupation of the Palestinian people and lands is not from what I teach them. We don't sit down and have anti-Israel lessons. No, we talk about what they see, what they live, what they experience. And it is insane for Condoleezza Rice or anybody else. And how dare she? Who the hell is she to even think she can say these things to Palestinian parents?
Word. Yeah.
It would be no different if Hillary Clinton said the same thing. And remember, the reason they say what they say is because they regard Palestinians and more specifically Muslims in general as less than human and that they just be discarded.
It's not even just Muslims, because let's also address the fact that they've been attacking Christians a lot lately in Christian churches, and they won't let the Christians get into the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. But anyway, she's about to now go into and explain her 5 and 9-year-olds' regular lived experience why they would possibly think that they live in an oppressive regime.
It is not for any of them to say that the blame is on Palestinian parents because we're raising our children with, culturally inappropriate or politically inappropriate or hate-filled lessons at home or in schools. My children do not see Israel as a settler colonial state because of a school book, okay? They see that my daughter, my 5-year-old daughter, had 4 Israeli soldiers with their guns swiveled towards her right at her head this weekend in Beit Jala, a Palestinian Christian town from inside of Beit Jala itself. This is her lived experience of the Israeli occupation. So it is not on Palestinians to change what our children know about Israel and occupation and apartheid. It is on you, actually, American governments and people who are putting their money into the tax system there that is funding the genocide. It is on all of you to hold Israel accountable, to create a red line for Israel to act as any other nation in the world would be expected to act, to treat people not even with dignity and respect and equal rights. Like, let's step back to not genocide an entire people to colonize their land. That is not what I am teaching my children. That is what they are seeing and living and experiencing.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing right there. That was the sentiment that I wanted to get out, but I obviously would never do it as much justice as Morgan. But yeah, Condi Rice, that it's just the Palestinians need to better teach their children to accept being oppressed. Is that really what you're saying? Coming from her, it's exceptionally gross.
But they will never apologize. That's the thing that I don't think people truly understand, why it is so grotesque, why it is so bad that you can just completely dehumanize an entire culture, an entire race of people, and to deny that that is their homeland. Again, the very telling makeup of the people that were at Carnegie Hall saying that you're just jealous of Jews, love Israel. None of those people, none of them are native to the Middle East. None of them. It's just all made up stuff.
It's Disneyland. It's basically like Disneyland. Israel is not a real place. Israelis is not a real nationality. They have no ethnicity. They have no culture. They have nothing. Everything that people think is Israeli is Palestinian. They stole everything and renamed it, literally.
And let's remember the type of people that typically pay, $200, $300, $500, even $1,000 to go sit and listen to the Philharmonic.
Yeah.
That is the very definition of the type of people that we've spoken about, the people of a certain class and makeup that are very much in line with those that contribute to the Israel lobby, that contribute to all of the causes for supporting Israel. And even in the face of what we now know is what is going on and what the plan has been, what we always suspected the plan was, we're going to show you a brief clip from 60 Minutes. Now, this may have been missed by a lot of people because even I initially didn't catch it. The plan has always been in place, which is why I think it's safe to say from both of our perspectives that October 7th, like 9/11, didn't just happen by accident. Now, I'm not saying who was responsible or who did it. I don't know. But I know enough to say that there's a hell of a lot of smoke. And where there's a hell of a lot of smoke, there is often a very big raging fire that is just ready to explode. So, from the interview on 60 Minutes between Leslie Stahl and Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner, some very pointed words were said that I don't think too many people caught at the time.
Part of the plan is the reconstruction, the rebuilding of Gaza. Mm-hmm. And you're builders, you've been in real estate. As you said, it's extremely complex. Tell us more about the plan and how much it's going to cost, where's the money going to come from, and who's going to award the contracts? 3 questions.
I think it's going to cost a lot of money.
What's a lot of money?
The estimates are in the $50 billion range. It might be a little bit less. It might be a little bit more. I happen to think that that's not a lot of money in that region.
That's not first and foremost, whack off. 50 billion with a B, not a lot of money, Jen. $50 billion, not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money.
Not a lot of money. That's more money than a lot of whole countries are worth. You're talking about a redevelopment project that clearly is tailored towards, if it's $50 billion, who do you think is getting those contracts to get in there and redevelop the area? The exact same people that are getting the contracts to go in and redevelop Ukraine. The same people who will be given contracts to go in and redevelop Taiwan if, God forbid, we try to start trouble there. And in the end, it's BlackRock, it's State Street, it's Vanguard. You were pointing out the other day how More Perfect Union did a video about just how bad the average chain restaurant food is today when you go out to eat.
It's a Cisco problem. So, guys, we always promote More Perfect Union. They do great work over there. And they had a piece they did, and it's a couple weeks old already. It's not their most recent one. And it has to do with the complete monopolization by Cisco over the restaurant industry and what that has meant. And I've noticed it over the years that the food all tastes the same. And this really breaks it down. But anyway, yeah, it's all the same. Well, when you go into a supermarket and you look at an aisle and we get a lot of variety in this country. It's really absurd. Well, it's fake variety, but it's so ridiculous. You go into a market in any other place, it's not like that. You don't have like 1,000 flavors of Cheez-Its. So, when you go into a supermarket here and you look at an aisle and it looks like there's a whole bunch of different brands, if you were to consolidate that to the companies that actually own all those brands, every single thing in the aisle is owned by 5 companies.
And on top of that,
that's just how it is. And so it's the same in the restaurant industry with Cisco.
Yes. And so with Cisco, just as we alluded to, who is going to get the contracts to redevelop Gaza?
Exactly.
The same people that are going to get those contracts are the same multinational private equity mega giants, State Street, Vanguard, and BlackRock. They own Cisco. They are the reason your food tastes like shit.
And Unilever is true. Unilever is true. That's also a problem in a supermarket.
Unilever, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
In the supermarket, yeah.
Yes, I agree. And so in the end, what it really comes down to is private equity is the end game of capitalism. It is the monopolization of all resources for the sake of profit. You will own nothing, you will like it, and you will not enjoy anything because it is all meant for profit. All of it. Yes. And what you also discover is that some of these very viral videos are popping up on social media all the time now, especially on YouTube, of people going to other countries and eating their food and comparing it to what it's like eating food here in the States.
No comparison.
No comparison.
Region, you have governments that are going to jump on in, and
so the Middle East countries are going to provide the money.
What you'll see European participation and so forth.
They can't help themselves.
I think the beginning of this plan is how to get it going, and that's what me and Jared work on all the time. The money raising, we think, is the easy part. We think
the money raising is the easy part.
The easy part. 50 billion, we got that. That's easy. The hard part is making sure that the genocided communities with their surviving family members won't want to come and, I don't know, bring jihad to us for doing that.
Oh, I thought he was going to say the hard part is bulldozing so many bodies out of the way.
Hey, that's going to take some time, Jen. It's a lot of rubble there to get through and a lot of broken.
I guess we don't know what the hard part is for them.
That happens relatively quickly, but it's the master plan, and we're working with a group of people who have been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
I'm gonna
play that. I'm gonna play that.
Plan.
I'm going to play that back one more time. Listen
But
carefully.
this is what Anna Kasparian got crap for doing this. I agree with her wholeheartedly. This is the kind of stuff that makes me want to go like, it's my
Look what I'm doing. Look what I'm doing, guys.
It's so like that. You know, you don't get to be a villain and then be upset about being portrayed as a villain.
What's even more amazing is that there actually is this Zionazi that has the entire physical manifestation of the shifty Jew rubbing his hands together. Like he has the whole nose and the forehead and everything.
Horrible.
Yeah. Sorry, it's just funny. One more time.
We're working with a group of people who have been working on master plans for the last 2 years.
For how long? For the last 2 years?
Which means,
Are you giving away the game there, Mr. Witkoff?
That's really saying the quiet part out loud.
Durr.
So there are plans already.
We have plans already. We have a master plan already. And by the way, and Jared's been pushing this, and we're working together on it.
Jared doesn't look happy.
I think if the world saw the progress so far, they'd be pretty impressed.
Jared's like,
you weren't supposed to say that.
This is how you know Witkoff's not a politician.
Well, no, that's the whole point. Trump put a whole bunch of people in there because he didn't want that whole thing.
That was great. And you can see Jared Kushner's face is like, you just said the quiet
We're not
part out
supposed
loud.
to say that, Steve. That's not supposed. People are going to know that we actually planned October 7th.
Oh, we've had a master plan for 2 years. Now, if he had said there's been a master plan in place for 20 years or 10 years, okay, I'd say, yeah, they've always wanted to colonize. They've always wanted to further do it. Like that makes sense that the Zios would have had that. But the fact that it's 2 years, it's actually worse.
Telling on yourself.
Oh, yeah.